Is tipping expected for counter service? If you're wondering whether you should tip when you order at a counter, you're not alone. Let's break it down to make things clearer. When you go to a restaurant where you order at the counter, the rules for tipping are different from those at sit-down restaurants. At sit-down restaurants, it's common to tip your waitstaff around 18 to 20% of the pre-tax bill because they rely heavily on tips as part of their income. However, for counter service restaurants, the situation is different. Here, you typically pay for your food up front and might be prompted to enter a tip amount on the payment screen. But is tipping really expected in these cases? Generally, no. Tipping is not expected at counter service restaurants. These workers usually receive a full hourly wage, unlike waitstaff at sit-down restaurants who often earn a sub-minimum wage and depend on tips to make up the difference. There are a few scenarios to consider. If you pick up your food at the counter and clean up after yourself, tipping is not necessary. If the food is brought to you but you still clean up after yourself, tipping is still not required. If the food is brought to you and the staff cleans up after you, some people might consider tipping, especially if the service was exceptional, but it's not mandatory. If you do decide to tip, it's usually a small amount, like dropping some change in a tip jar. However, many people choose not to tip at all in these situations because workers are already earning a full wage. So, to sum it up, while it's nice to show appreciation with a tip if you receive great service, it's not expected or required when you order at a counter. Be kind, say thank you, and if you feel like it, a small tip can be a nice gesture, but it's entirely up to you.